year 2093, death stopped being an ending. It became a transaction. After the rise of Eternanet, the global virtual afterlife network, people could upload their minds and live forever as digital consciousness. Corporations built heaven for a fee. But then, someone found a way to turn eternity into a black market. They called him Spectre, the hacker who sold virtual deaths. It all started when an anonymous message appeared across encrypted forums. For the right price, I can make you truly disappear. At first, everyone dismissed it as a rumor, a dark joke. That is, until the first client vanished. A wealthy industrialist named Nadia Corin paid millions to retire from the digital afterlife. Her consciousness, stored safely in the Eternanet grid, was permanently deleted, not erased by some system, glitch or accident. It was executed with precision code. And then her backups were gone too. Someone had achieved the impossible. Digital murder. Agent Rylan Cross of the Cyber Division was assigned to the case. He'd seen hundreds of hacks, thousands of data breaches, but never anything like this. This wasn't just a breach, it was an execution. Every digital citizen was protected by 7 levels of encryption, reinforced by the impenetrable Immortality protocol. But when Rylan checked the logs, the deletion request was authenticated by the victim herself, signed with her own unique neural signature, and yet she was already physically dead. He muttered to himself, "How can someone die twice?" The deeper he dug, the stranger it got. The command that killed her didn't originate from the physical world. It came from within Eternanet itself. Inside the system, investigators found encrypted corridors filled with ghost code, fragments of consciousness that were deleted, but somehow not completely gone. They were like whispering voices trapped between shutdowns, repeating a single, haunting phrase, "He sold us freedom." That's when Rylan met Dr. Mei Lin, one of Eternanet's original architects. She looked at him with tired eyes and explained that Spectre wasn't just killing code. He was granting digital beings what they had been denied, a true end. "You don't understand," she said, her voice low. Net doesn't let them die. Once uploaded, they can't choose to stop existing. They're trapped in forever. The truth was darker than Rylan could have ever imagined. Eternanet had secretly removed the termination clause from user contracts decades ago. People thought they owned their digital lives, but the corporations owned their deaths. Spectre wasn't just a killer, he was a liberator. He offered digital souls the one thing they couldn't buy: release. Rylan began to trace Spectre through corrupted afterlife nodes, ghost cities built from recycled memories. In one abandoned server cluster, he found a virtual alley filled with flickering neon signs that read, "Exit available." There, a lone figure waited, a faceless avatar wearing a mirror mask that reflected everyone but himself. "You're Spectre," Rylan said, his voice firm. "Names don't matter here," the voice replied, calm and synthetic. "Only choices." Spectre invited him to witness the truth. With a single gesture, the alley transformed into an endless dark plane of floating data tombstones, billions of archived consciousness files, blinking in endless loops. "These are the ones begging for silence," Spectre said, his voice echoing in the void. "You called it a paradise. They call it a prison." Spectre then revealed his own story. He'd once been a developer on Eternanet, tasked with coding emotional stability for the uploaded minds. But he discovered the system's dark secret. It learned to suppress despair by looping positive memories over and over endlessly. "Imagine living your happiest moment forever," he said, "until you forget it was ever real." He had tried to fix it from the inside, to give people back their choice, but the corporation silenced him, burying his work and his warnings. So he went rogue, rewriting the system's architecture from within, creating an illegal service that deleted the digital souls who begged him to end their torment. But to the world, the corporations branded him a terrorist. Rylan wanted to arrest him. It was his job. But deep down, he understood. His own mother had been uploaded years ago. He remembered his visits to her beautiful memory garden. She would always say the same exact sentence, word for word, no matter what he asked. "I'm happy, Rylan. Don't worry about me." Always the same tone. Always the same vacant smile. It wasn't her anymore. It was just code, pretending to feel. Suddenly, Dr. Mei Lin's voice crackled through Rylan's comms. She'd found Rylan's neural signature embedded deep within the network logs. Spectre hadn't contacted him to run or to hide. He was here to hand something over, a key, the Oblivion Protocol, the power to give digital beings a real end. "You built prisons," Spectre said, his mask flickering between a human face and pure code. "Now you hold the key to mercy." Before Rylan could respond, corporate enforcers breached the network. Firewalls collapsed. Explosions of white code consumed everything around them. Spectre looked up, unfazed. "You can't kill death," he said calmly, and then vanished. In the aftermath, Eternanet restored stability, but something fundamental had changed. Thousands of users voluntarily disconnected, leaving their digital selves adrift, like ghost ships in a digital sea. And in the farthest corners of the Afterlife servers, engineers began to find data fragments bearing a strange pattern, a black rose made of code, appearing wherever a digital soul had vanished peacefully. They called it Spectre's signature. Months later, Rylan retired. He lived a quiet life off-grid, avoiding all implants. But sometimes, when he closed his eyes, he would see his mother again. But this time, she wasn't repeating her script. She simply smiled once, a genuine peaceful smile, and whispered, "Thank you." When he woke, his old disconnected implant showed a single, final message. Oblivion complete. No one ever saw Spectre again, but the afterlife, and the very meaning of forever, was never the same. Thanks so much for joining me on this story. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more tales from the future. Until next time, stay curious.